All right, let's jump right into this explainer. We're going to uncover the shocking truth about a piece of tech the telecom industry promised was going to usher in an ultra-secure, utopian future. I'm willing to bet you've got an eSIM on your phone right now, right? No physical card to pull out, no risk of getting your SIM swiped on the street. Your carrier, the phone makers, everyone basically told you it was way more convenient and, most importantly, vastly more secure.
So you thought losing your physical SIM card was the absolute worst that could happen? Well, the industry swore up and down that ditching that tiny, stealable piece of plastic for a digital profile soldered right into your phone was a massive security upgrade. But, as we'll see from some groundbreaking research published by Security Explorations in July 2025, that is exactly the opposite of the truth. They actually managed to compromise the eSIM sitting inside billions of devices, totally shattering this illusion of safety we've all kind of just bought into.
Think about the stark contrast between the old physical chip, which we all intuitively understand, and the modern embedded SIM, or eSIM. A classic physical SIM? It's removable, it's tangible, you can hold it, and yeah, it's stealable. The eSIM fundamentally changes that architecture. It's totally invisible, soldered directly onto the motherboard. Technically speaking, it relies on a hidden hardware chip called the eUICC, that's Embedded Universal Integrated Circuit Card. So an eSIM is really just a software profile running on this supposedly secure physical chip.
And the scale of this? It's literally staggering. We are talking about over 6 billion eUICC-compatible devices worldwide in 2025. That's almost one for every person on the planet. And it goes way beyond just smartphones. We're looking at smartwatches, connected cars, smart meters, industrial trackers, the whole shebang. This represents a critical, totally invisible global infrastructure. And absolutely everything relies on this architecture remaining uncompromised.
Inside the Java card, peeking behind the curtain. To really grasp how this massive house of cards collapses, we've got to look closely at the foundational software layer running on all of these chips.
So what is a Java card? It's basically a runtime environment designed to execute tiny little applications, which are called applets, on extremely resource-constrained chips like SIM cards or even biometric passports. Think of the Java card virtual machine's firewall like a super heavy vintage bank safe. Its primary job is strict isolation. It's meant to definitively keep one applet from snooping on another applet's memory, or from improperly accessing the chip's highly sensitive internal data.
Now, the crucial point here is understanding exactly how this protection gets bypassed, and it's through a method called type confusion. Basically, type confusion happens when you trick a system into believing that an object of a certain type is actually a completely different type. This lets you sneak into restricted memory that you normally shouldn't be able to reach. In a standard Java environment on your PC, the system actively prevents this by verifying the bytecode before it runs, acting exactly like a strict bouncer checking IDs at the door of a club. But what if the bouncer is just entirely asleep on the job? The researchers at Security Explorations found that exactly 0 eSIMs perform this critical verification. 0. And the reason for this is absolutely wild. It's due to a systemic architectural flaw where the GSMA specifications literally mandate that no bytecode verification happens on eSIMs. This isn't just some random isolated bug in a single phone. It is a fundamental design decision that completely shatters the applet firewall across the entire global ecosystem.
The smoking gun, a flaw hidden since 2019. This really brilliantly illustrates the dark irony of our story, because this catastrophic design flaw, it isn't even new.
Just look at this timeline for a second. A researcher named Adam Godiak actually reported these exact type confusion bugs way back in 2019 to Oracle. And Oracle naturally minimized them as just mere security concerns with no real impact. Right. Well, fast forward to July 2024. His team resumes their research, this time targeting ARM's Kigen chip. Keep in mind, this is a chip that actually holds an EAL4+ certification, promising zero compromise security. By March 2025, they had a massive breakthrough. They completely extracted the private ECC key. And finally, in July 2025, they published their full public disclosure.
It was an incredibly exhaustive process. It took the team 7 months, generating over 4,200 internal notes. But the result of all that rigorous work was an automated exploit that sliced right through that high-level security certification like butter. With this exploit, they achieved full access to memory, certificate extraction, and the ability to dump secret operator keys completely in plain text.
The fallout, what attackers can concretely do. Let's shift gears to the real-world impact and see how this flaw builds into an absolute nightmare for anyone holding a smartphone or driving a connected car.
At its core, this attack fundamentally steals your SIM identity. Here's how it plays out. Step 1. By extracting the eUICC certificate, the attacker grabs the exact credential that proves to a mobile operator the chip is legitimate. Step 2. Armed with that certificate, researchers demonstrated they could literally download plain text, unencrypted eSIM profiles from over 100 mobile operators across multiple countries. We're talking giants like AT&T and Vodafone. And Step 3. They can now impersonate your specific device anywhere globally. The operator's secrets are entirely exposed.
And this leads directly to silent cloning. The attacker can now create a full software clone of your profile. In the researchers' tests, they actually showed 2 cloned phones receiving identical calls and SMS text messages at the exact same time. And honestly, the scariest part? There are 0 notifications for the victim. None. An attacker can silently intercept all your private communications and, crucially, your 2-factor authentication codes without you ever noticing a single thing is wrong.
But it gets even more terrifying, because bypassing that applet firewall allows attackers to inject malicious applets right into the secure eUICC chip itself. This means the malware is persistent. It completely survives a full factory OS reset. You could wipe your phone completely and it's still there. It hides far, far below your standard antivirus software and mobile operating system security. It's operating at a hardware level that standard security tools simply cannot see.
The cover-up, the industry's flawed response. Okay, so surely the industry rushed to fix this systemic architectural disaster with total transparency, right? Well, let's take a look at their actual response.
Following the disclosure, Kigen did actually release an over-the-air patch. But, and this is a big but, they legally couched it as Java card runtime hardening. They framed the whole problem around generic test profiles and entirely avoided even mentioning the core Java card vulnerabilities. Even worse, they actually stated they cannot distribute these patches outside of established customer agreements. Meaning, if you aren't a direct customer on paper, you have absolutely no idea if your specific device actually received the patch.
And because of incredibly strict non-disclosure agreements, the researchers couldn't even test eUICC chips from other major global manufacturers, big players like NXP, Fails, or Idemia. They're left in what is essentially a dark room. Because these companies refuse to sell testing hardware to security firms, billions of other devices are just sitting out there in a complete security blind spot. We simply don't know for sure if their implementations share these exact same catastrophic weaknesses.
Defense: how to protect yourself. Since we clearly cannot rely on the telecom ecosystem's opaque patching and lack of structural transparency, here is what you need to take away from this explainer to defend yourself today.
First things first, lock down your SIM. Go enable a SIM pin on your device immediately. Second, completely abandon SMS for your 2-factor authentication. Seriously, switch to authenticator apps right now. Because if your phone number is silently cloned, those text message codes protect absolutely nothing. And finally, watch your phone like a hawk. Keep a really close eye out for any unexplained signal drops, SMS messages that supposedly sent but never arrive, or calls you somehow missed that never even rang.
Look, the hardware might have evolved into this fancy embedded chip, but the software security, it is stuck squarely in the past, riddled with architectural flaws that have been ignored since 2019. It really leaves us with a chilling reality. What you can't see, you can't protect. So, you kind of have to ask yourself, is your phone already cloned? Thanks for diving into this with me today, and hey, stay vigilant out there.